Hi, what's your name, darling?
My name is Susan Boyle.
Okay, what's the dream?
I'm trying to be a professional singer.
And why hasn't it worked out so far, Susan?
I've never been given the chance before, but here's hoping it'll change. I dreamed a dream in time gone by. After Mum died in 2007, when loneliness really set in, I used to find myself crying a lot. I used to find myself not being able to manage, not being able to cope. And I know that she meant me to do something with my life.
After her mother's passing, Susan Boyle revealed the emotional challenges she faced growing up. Known for her incredible voice, Susan's life wasn't just filled with musical triumphs, but also personal struggles. What happened with her mother that marked her for the rest of her life? We will uncover what Susan's mother did, leaving many wondering how it changed her forever. Susan Boyle's rise from struggles to fame. Who is Susan Boyle? Born back in 1961, Susan faced a tough start with brain damage caused by a lack of oxygen when she was born. Despite that rocky beginning, she shot to fame with her powerful mezzo-soprano voice. Winning hearts globally in 2009 when she appeared on Britain's Got Talent. Her audition video went viral, pulling in a whopping 680 million views, showing just how much her music touched people everywhere. This huge leap was proof of her voice's deep emotional pull. Before long, she topped the music charts in both the United Kingdom and the United States with her first albums. Before we uncover the truth, it's clear that what Susan's mother did had a deeper impact than anyone could have guessed. And this revelation will leave you speechless. Susan Boyle's success wasn't just about her massive online hits or topping the charts. In 2009, she broke records with the highest number of pre-orders for an album on Amazon, showing how eagerly fans awaited her music. She didn't just make waves commercially, she also earned 2 Grammy nominations, which stamped her mark as a respected figure in the music industry. Her ability to connect deeply with listeners underlines the genuine, raw emotion she brings to her performances. However, it's her personal life, marked by resilience, that adds layers to her story. Growing up in Blackburn, Scotland, Susan was the youngest of her siblings and faced relentless bullying, leaving deep emotional wounds. Yet her unyielding spirit pushed her forward, and her passion for music catapulted her to the global stage. Her rise to fame is not just a tale of raw talent, but also of overcoming the barriers life placed in her path. From a little town in Scotland to international stardom, her life reflects not just talent, but perseverance in a battle against odds. Delving into her history, you'll find it filled with hope and a series of unforeseen events, leading her to sell over 15 million albums. Isn't that incredible? Her school days were tough. In 2017, she opened up to the Daily Mail about being bullied for being different, both with words and physically. School, which should have been a safe learning space, turned into a place of distress. Susan mentioned how her distinctiveness made her a frequent target, and the bullying was so intense that her mother felt the need to walk her to school every day. This contrasts sharply with how bullying is managed today. The constant torment from her classmates was overwhelming. Furthermore, she was incorrectly labeled as hyperactive due to her emotional responses, exacerbating the bullying. The impact on her self-esteem and mental health was devastating. During her schooling, there was a lack of awareness about learning disabilities, which only made things worse. Shockingly, some of her teachers were part of the problem. In 2009, she told the Mirror about how teachers would tell her to shut up, and she even experienced physical punishment at school. The educators, failing to understand her learning challenges, sometimes resorted to using a belt on her. Susan shared how her slight disability and slower pace made her feel excluded in a system that was too quick for her. The abuse from both classmates and teachers, a group that should have been her protectors, paints a grim picture of her school years, highlighting just how tough she had it. Her resilience in dealing with these traumatic experiences is a testament to her strength and her determination to rise above the difficulties. Susan Boyle's struggles also followed her home. She has spoken openly about her difficulties with her father, Patrick, who, although essentially a good man, had a temper that led to both physical and emotional pain during her younger years. The emotional scars from this abuse stayed with her for a long time. In a 2016 interview with the Daily Mail, Susan discussed how she had held on to this trauma for years. The enduring impact of such experiences remained, and Boyle stressed the importance of letting go of and accepting painful memories to aid her personal growth. Her father's disapproval of a boyfriend when she was 25 added more strain. Dealing with parental expectations and seeking approval brought additional challenges in her life. Her openness in sharing these tough experiences shows her maturity through acceptance and her commitment to moving beyond the pains of the past. Now that the world knows her talent, Susan still had to deal with personal struggles. Let's see how her health and heartbreak affected her life. Susan Boyle's fight with loss. Susan Boyle's life was deeply shaped by her struggles with epilepsy, a condition that often left her unconscious after seizures during her younger years. She shared in a candid 2011 interview with the Daily Mail that people often misunderstood her seizures as signs of intellectual challenges. Being diagnosed with epilepsy brought more problems, as it gave bullies another reason to target her. Her parents found it hard to deal with her condition, and Susan felt that doctors didn't really get what was wrong with her brain. By being open about her epilepsy, Susan has helped increase awareness about invisible disabilities, which used to be ignored or not properly understood. Susan has never been married, but she once had an engagement that really marked her. She talked in a 2009 interview with the Daily Mail about her first serious relationship with a guy named John. They got engaged after just 7 weeks, but the engagement didn't last because John got cold feet. Despite feeling sad about it, Susan stayed positive and looked forward to what the future might hold instead of getting stuck on what she had lost. Losing her mom, Bridget Boyle, in 2007 was a huge emotional blow for Susan, as her mom was more than just a parent to her. She was her best friend. This tough time came after her dad passed away in 1999, pushing Susan into deep sadness and loneliness. Susan talked about how hard her mom's death hit her in interviews, always mentioning how close they were. Even though it hurt a lot, Susan drew strength from her mom's belief in her talent. Bridget always pushed Susan to follow her dreams, and keeping a promise to her mom guided Susan forward. Another tough moment came in 2015 when her sister Bridie died at 73. This added to her pain, but still, Susan found some comfort in her music and her family. Susan Boyle's path is an inspiring example of how someone can overcome tough times and achieve great things. Her big break came at 47 when she auditioned for Britain's Got Talent in Glasgow, her 13th try at breaking into the tough world of talent shows. She sang "I Dreamed a Dream," and despite initial laughs and skepticism from the audience, her performance was powerful. Despite winning the judges over, the audience's initial reaction was harsh and critical. Her debut on the show in 2009 brought to light the cruel side of public exposure. The Guardian commented on this in an article titled, "It wasn't singer Susan Boyle who was ugly on Britain's Got Talent, so much as our reaction to her," pointing out that the ugliness was in the audience's reaction, not in Susan's performance. Despite the rocky start, she quickly became a celebrity, showing that real talent and determination can win over negative judgments. Susan's time on Britain's Got Talent made her a fan favorite, but the finale brought unexpected challenges. Despite a lot of support, she finished second to the dance group Diversity, which surprised many. Still, finishing second was a big deal for someone who had faced personal struggles for many years. However, the stress of the show and the high hopes of her fans eventually took a toll on her, leading to her collapsing and needing medical care right after the finale. The demanding schedule and emotional load of competing were a lot for her to handle. After the show, Susan spoke openly about how the stress of the competition affected her mental health, telling the Daily Mail that the surprise and disappointment of not winning might have caused a panic attack. She worried that her career might be over, which added even more stress. Sharing these experiences highlights the importance of taking care of one's mental and emotional health, especially when suddenly finding oneself in the spotlight. Her experience shows the personal side of achieving success and the need for support and self-care when facing tough times. Fame came quickly for Susan, but it brought new problems too. Let's find out how her sudden rise brought both happiness and challenges. Susan Boyle's fame and fear. Susan's rise to fame brought her into a whirlwind of attention she wasn't prepared for. Despite the incredible response to her voice, she struggled with the intense pressure that came with sudden fame. She felt trapped in her own home, unable to go out because of the press camping outside. Beyond the external pressures, she dealt with a lot of uncertainties about the sudden positive changes in her life. In a straightforward talk with the Daily Mail, she expressed deep insecurities about whether her new friends would stick around. Dealing with success was new and somewhat uncomfortable for Susan. Reflecting on her first audition for Britain's Got Talent, she admitted to still feeling like a failure, haunted by past disappointments and difficulties. While the world celebrated her voice, she wrestled with a mix of self-doubt, insecurities, and the challenge of accepting the positive changes. The road to success, especially when in the public eye, is filled with emotional challenges that need to be managed along with public acclaim. In 2010, Susan Boyle came back to her home in West Lothian to a surprising and scary sight. A teenager was on her stairs. This happened right after she had recorded a song to help others. Thankfully, nothing was taken, but the scare lingered. They caught a 16-year-old for this, but later he was let go without any charges. Just 2 years on, another unsettling incident occurred when a fan who was too keen tried to sneak into her hotel room in Liverpool. These experiences point out the difficulties Susan faced as she tried to maintain her privacy and stay safe despite her fame. By 2013, Susan shared an important piece of her health history. All her life, she was told she had brain damage when she was actually on the autism spectrum with an intelligence quotient above average. This incorrect label affected her deeply until she got the right diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome. Suddenly, many confusing aspects of her life started to make sense. She discussed in an interview how the old diagnosis never seemed to fit and how understanding her real condition changed how she saw herself and helped others understand her better. Susan's life has been one of great bravery, yet the shadows of her past, particularly bullying, continued to haunt her into adulthood. She opened up about how she still faces harsh treatment, particularly from young people who have yelled at her, made mean comments, and even thrown things at her. In 2017, returning to her family's home brought back these challenges as local youths harassed her and threw rocks and burning paper at her door. Despite this, the support from her neighbors showed the strong community around her and her determination to stick to her roots. While she tends to keep her personal life private, Susan spoke in 2019 about something very personal, her regret over not having children. Now in her 60s, she shared her feelings about this gap in her life, but mentioned she is open to fostering or adopting, showing it's never too late to consider a new path in life. In 2012, Susan was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, leading to big changes in her diet, like giving up chocolate. When the COVID-19 pandemic came around, her condition meant she had to be extra cautious, staying indoors to keep safe. She discussed taking her health seriously during this time, emphasizing her commitment to staying well. Financial success brought its own set of challenges, particularly with her family. Tensions rose, especially with her brother Jerry, who allegedly asked her for $75,000 to help his business and even threatened extreme measures if she didn't help. Though he denied these accusations, the situation strained their relationship, showing the complex pressures her fame brought to her family ties. In June 2023, during the finale of Britain's Got Talent, Susan revealed she had a minor stroke in April 2022. The significance of her return to performing was huge for her. This moment was a clear display of her resilience, as she worked hard to regain her speech and singing skills, proving her strong will and determination to overcome challenges and continue sharing her talent with the world. Susan's story is inspiring, but many other famous people have also had tough family relationships, stars in their painful family ties. Many famous people have had tough times with their mothers, leading to painful breaks or lingering tensions. These relationships, though unique in their challenges, often involve emotional, psychological, and even physical difficulties, leaving deep impacts on everyone involved. Drew Barrymore hit fame early in the movie world, but her childhood was anything but smooth. By the age of 14, she had to legally separate from her parents, especially her mom, Jade Barrymore. Their relationship was rocky because of Jade's own battles. Drew has shared her feelings about the hard times in staying connected with her mom. She feels a mix of guilt, understanding, and care, which stays with her even though they aren't close. This complex relationship is still a tough spot for Drew, but she keeps her focus on her friendships and other positive ties for emotional support. Jennifer Aniston, another big-name star, had a tough bond with her mom, Nancy Dow. They didn't speak for years, and Aniston has talked about how her mom's harsh words hurt her. Nancy Dow, who was a model and actress, often criticized Aniston, making her feel judged about her looks and choices. Their relationship got so bad that Aniston didn't even invite her mom to her wedding. Though they stayed apart for a long time, they made up later in their lives. Charlize Theron's relationship with her mom, Gerda Moritz, was marked by a scary incident when Theron was a teenager. Her mom had to defend both of them by fatally shooting Theron's violent alcoholic dad. This event hugely affected Theron's life. She holds no grudge against her mom, but the weight of that moment has shaped their relationship. Theron often thinks about her mom's courage, grateful for the tough choices her mom made to protect them. Ariel Winter, known for her role in Modern Family, had a very public fight with her mom, Christina Workman. At 14, Winter sought legal freedom due to claims of emotional abuse. Her mom's tight grip on her life pushed Winter to get legal help and live under her older sister, Chanel Gray's care. After a long legal fight, Winter was free from her mom by the age of 17. Despite the hard times, Ariel keeps talking about the importance of being your own person and having freedom. Macaulay Culkin's younger years were filled with family troubles. His dad, Kit Culkin, and his mom fought over him fiercely. The battle over the money he made as a child actor made things worse. Culkin eventually had to legally remove his parents as his guardians, cutting ties with them. His dad's abusive behavior made their relationship even more strained. Though Culkin has shared these tough times, he keeps himself away from those painful memories. Oprah Winfrey's early life was incredibly hard. She grew up poor, with a mom, Vernita Lee, who couldn't always be there for her. Oprah faced a lot of abuse and neglect as a kid. Despite recognizing her mom's failings, Oprah has tried to understand her mom, realizing she did her best with what she had. Oprah's path to making peace with her mom is about acceptance more than anger. Demi Lovato had a rocky relationship with her dad, Patrick Lovato. She's described him as abusive and often absent during her upbringing. After he passed away, Demi battled mixed emotions as she had kept her distance to protect her emotional health. She found some peace by writing a thank you letter to him after his death, recognizing the good traits he passed on despite their challenging relationship. Christina Aguilera also had a tough time with her dad, Fausto Aguilera, who she said was abusive during her childhood. Her parents split when she was young, and she barely saw her dad after that. The abuse she went through deeply affected her, but Aguilera has spoken out against domestic violence, staying close to her supportive mom through it all. These stories of celebrities and their complex relationships with their mothers show the different ways family ties can be challenged by personal and work issues. While some have found ways to make up or find closure, others still feel the distance or unresolved issues, showing how deep and complicated feelings can be shaped by early life experiences. Did Susan Boyle's mother shape her into the star she is today, or did she leave behind deeper emotional scars? Tell us what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.